this air hammer technique, that free form forging that I am showing here, was developed by me, developed the dies, and I developed the forging system. And I'm still learning. There is a lot to learn. The first exercise is forging a point. We are forging the point from 5/8 material, 6 inches long. We can forge two types of points. One a shorter and one a longer one. When we forge a shorter, we go all the way. We start here on the square, and then here, and then here, and it start to be longer and longer, and then we break the corners to get 8, and then we go round and finish it. To make a longer one, we forge until the mark here, and we leave this part unforged, and we finish this part, and then we forge the part that we left. By this we can get a longer point, because by leaving the part this, it preserves the heat for a longer time, and we can go longer. the short point and the long point, we made these notches here around by using the corner of the combination die, catching with the corner here and moving in this way, turning around 30 degrees, catching again, tapping like this, pinching, whoop, like we do with the finger with the dough, we do with the air hammer, turning again 30 degrees, and the same and the same and the same. And here afterwards we finish on the anvil. For this element, again we start with the same material. It is 5/8 by 6 inches. We create a shoulder here on the line, on this line, and forge it all the way. And then we put it on the combination die this way, move it to the sides, and then we put it on the narrow side of the combination die and forge it this way and this way. After we finished, we put it here on the anvil, and with the hammer we go like this one side, and we go like this the other side, and it is finished. To forge this element, we use the same 5/8 by 6 inch material, and we are shouldering it from both sides. One side we shoulder here, and afterwards we shoulder the other side here, and the width of the part that we leave is around 1/4 inch less than the width of the combination die. forge it tapered to get this on this side. Afterwards, we forge the other side to get this straight. Then we put it here, we forge it flat to around 3/8 thickness. Then we put on the half here and we forge it and we move it to the side one, turn it around, move it to the side twice, and this element is finished. Then we put it in the fire again and we bend the hook. Element finished. For this element, it's like an arrow-like point. We use 5/8 by 8 inches. By the way, it can be done from any other material, but the exercise is done from this material. 5/8 by 8 inches. So, first of all, we forge the point here. Then we neck it here. Then we forge to the neck. And after we finished all this, we put it here, we forge it flat to the thickness of the point here. We don't destroy the point, and then we put it here from the side and forge one, turn around, forge second. And afterwards, when we finish, we put it in the fire and in the vise and we twist it a little bit and we get this element. have here two 5/8 by 10 inches bars that we are using. I call it bamboo texture. And again, with a type of a decorative element in this side, and I'm going to explain how it is done. All this is done by shouldering one side, the other side, one side, the other side, turn around, shouldering here, shouldering here. Beautiful texture that you can use it in window railing or in staircase railing. Here we do the same. We leave a certain width of the material here, and we use the die to pinch it. One side, first of all, we go down with the hammer and we flat it a little bit. Then we go on one side, forge here, turn around, forge here, and we get this element here. To make this element, which I'm using as this miniature, it's a small one, I use as legs for a table, yeah. We use 1 inch square material. For this element, we use it 6 inches. Then we put here on the side, we put here a stopper that we clamp with a clamp to the hammer. And then we go with the hammer, and on the narrow side of the combination die, we go like this, and like this, and like this, and like this. And by this, we are creating this shoulder here. Hold it here and we taper it by forging with the hammer, and when we finish, we break the corners. You see here two different textures. One is mild a little bit and one is more aggressive. And then when we finish it, we change sides and we forge the round here. We break the corners in the same side until we are coming to almost round, and then we turn it around, forging it until we are coming to the diameter that we need, and we forge it in and it is finished. Forged a ball in an end of a 1/8 bar, round bar. We can do it also in a square bar. Forging a ball in an end of a bar. And again, we are using the stopper like this, and we shoulder this place, and again the distance is the diameter of the material. The distance here is the diameter of the material. We forge the neck, and afterwards here we forge the taper until we are coming to the neck. finishing this, we put the piece like this and we forge it in square. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we break the corners and round it. Break the corners and round it, and slowly, slowly, slowly we are raising the hand like this, and we get the ball. We cannot reach to the point here on the end. We put it here on the anvil, and with the hammer we finish it like this. Finish this, we are coming again to arrange the point here near the shoulder, and the ball is finished. This is a rake. It's made out of 3/4 round material by 12 inches. It can be done the same from square material, 3/4, the same length. We mark it first. From one side 2 1/4 inches, and from the other side 1 1/4 inch. Then we take the bar and we put on the hammer, we put this little tool which distinct the thickness of the forging. We are coming always to the same measure. We hold it with a clamp. Now we put it on the mark of 1 1/4 inch, and we forge it down all the way to this spacer. Then we turn it 90 degrees and we place it in the end of the round bar and of the round element, and we move 1/16 of an inch, and we forge again, turning again 90 degrees and do the same. turning again 90 degrees and do the same, turning again 90 degrees and do the same. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pinching like this, like in a dough, with the narrow part of the combination die. We flatten the end here a little bit and we make another flat here. This is to be able to catch it in the vise and to catch here a spanner adjustable and twist it. And when it is hot, we twist it. On every pinch we twist a quarter turn. 5 pinching, that means 1 1/4 turn. And then we get this. The problem is to control it, to get it even. To get it, you have to heat it even. To heat it even is almost impossible. So while twisting, we see how it comes and then we use water to cool the place that it twisted more. And by this we control the line and we get all of them in one line. Now we take this away and we shoulder it here, 3/8 from the last element. We shoulder it here and then we shoulder it here to a smaller diameter. And then we forge in between to square until we get the measurement that we need. We break the corners and make it round and it's finished. it around and forge the end here. We start here, easy, we shoulder it, then we forge it to the point, and after forging the point, we make the hook and we finish this side. Then turn it around and before a point, a long point here, put it on the diamond, forge it hard and get this straight. Then we take the fork, we bend it in here 90 degrees and then we put it here and bend it here with the hammer like this and it's finished. Forging this element is an end of a bar. Usually this element I use to create a frame of a table or whatever frame. So this is 3/4 by 5 or 6 inches. It makes no difference. And we mark on this material of 3/4, we mark from the end 1 1/8 of an inch, and we chisel the mark. Afterwards, we grind it on the grinder, we grind it round, and then we put it on the air hammer, and with this tool, we shoulder it here. we are coming almost to half of the material. Having done this, we are now forging it, but before we prepare the hammer in a way that the bottom shoulder is moved off 3/4 inch, and by this we move this down and we get this. When this is parallel to the upper part of the material. Doing this twice, we get and bringing it to the half of the measurement of the material. If this is 3/4, we make it 3/8. And then when we put it one on the other, we have exactly the thickness of the round material. We do it on both sides of the bar, and putting them together, we get a frame in round material. It can be done the same on square material. Those two elements are forged from flat material, 3" by 3/8 by 6" long. We welded here a piece to be able to hold it, and then we neck it here, and we have created on this side almost the same form that you see here down, but nicer. And then there is a difference only in the forging. This one is very aggressive. We started here like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, turn around, 1, 2, 3, 4, and finish. This one, we open it like this by forging in radius, in the end, and in more in the middle, and more in the middle, and again in the end, and again in the end. And what happened? We get this. So we have two different shapes out of the same preparation. These are two elements that are done from flat material. This one is 1 inch by 5/16, and this one is 1 1/4 inch by 3/8. Here, we do it very simple. We just hammer it with the crown dies. We start here and we go all the way slowly, 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 and we go this way. And then we go the other side, we go a little bit longer. That means while forging, we move it like this. And what happened is we get this sharper and this more bigger. Many people say that this is a silhouette of a woman's body. I don't know why. I'm too old to remember. Now the other shape is done the same, but while forging we turn it like this and we move the material down in this direction. So we do it once and we repeat it again and we repeat it again until we are coming to the form we want. We turn it around and we do here the same. Because we have more material here and we did it different, we get it more contradictory and we see the lines of movement. Here they are parallel. Here you see the rotating movement. Those two elements demonstrate the possibility to move the material from one elevation to the other. What does it mean? Many times we want to forge a flat material down and get this beautiful texture and form. So with this crown die, we just put it like this and we forge it here, and then we move it here, we forge it again, and we get this beautiful shape like stream. This one is the same, It's a bigger material. It is 3/8 by 1 1/4 inch. So we have much more material. So we leave it here and we forge it and we move to the side. So we get a transformation from the flat to this type of. It's only one. We can go and do it along the bar and get beautiful elements. This element is done the same. We have the flat, we put it here, we forge it, we move it on the anvil down, and then we forge it in and we create a type of a spiral. Here we have this type of, can be a finial or whatever. Again, this is an exercise that we can use in different places. Flat material, 1 inch by 5/16. The first part here, we forge here just in the middle, we move it to the sides. The second one, we do the same, and afterwards we neck it here, and we neck it here. And then we go and forge it like this, and like this, and we get this. Again, these are two decoration elements that you can use as a finial in a fence or in a railing, wherever. This is forged from square material, 1 inch square material, 6 inches long. Now, we'll start with this one. This one, we neck it 90 degrees here with the combination die. We leave here around 2 inches and then we forge the neck. Then we put it on the crown die and we forge it in the middle. We start here and we pull it down on both sides, and what we get this element, we get this up, and it looks like this from the side. The second one is done the same. We are necking it 90 degrees, very sharp neck here according to the radius. We forge, we taper it, we give the texture, and then we put it on the diamond like this. Not like this, like before, we put it like this. And when we put it on the diamond, and we open it the same, we get this thing and we get it like this. So you can see the difference between them. Everyone that works in iron, fabricate or blacksmith knows that we have workshops that are having a lot of punch outs, different dimensions that we can use. So this is an element out of a small punch out, which is 5/16 by 1 1/8 diameter. So we flat it, we weld it to a 5/16 bar, and afterwards on the air hammer we flare it and we get it like this. We can also go like this and then work the sides. It is unlimited. You can do many things out of it. have also those elements made from the bigger punch out, which is I think 7/16 by 2.5 inches, something like this. We weld to it a 3/8 bar, and you see 3 different forgings that were done on the crown die. One went like this, okay, and we get this one. The other one, we opened it first like this, in the middle, and then we went very aggressive, and we get this. This one is done the same like the first one, but more aggressive. And you start from the middle and you go, one go, whoop, here, one go, whoop, here, and you get this. So you see how we can use those punch outs to create beautiful forms that can use in many places. Many times we need to make a stand for a candle holder or whatever. So we take this piece and we hold it with 2 tongs like this, and we forge from the middle 120 degrees second, 120 degrees third. Then we repair it, and then when we finish, we put it in this bolster with this tool and go. Easy. Go. Go. Easy. Go. 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 Finished. Here we have it. Now we have those two elements that are made out of 1 inch by 5/16 flat material. To get this is the material that we start with. The length here is 12 inches, but it makes no difference. We heat it up, a long heat, and we go on the crown die on this side or on this side, whenever it is convenient, and we pinch it, and we move it this direction. What happened, because we are pinching on one side, it will turn out slowly, slowly, slowly. And if you do and you move even, you get a beautiful, very accurate curve. Then you go to the other side and you get the other curve. Depend what you want to do. Now the beauty of it, that you can make a complete round. How you do it? You start like this and you move. You see this one, the diameter is smaller, so I moved slower and I went harder. So it closed until I'm coming to a half circle. And then I start from this side, I calculate how much and go back to me. And what happened, it will close and create a circle. Otherwise it's impossible to do. In a sense, we have here two different, very similar elements. From here to here is one type, and from here to here is another type. This is 5/8 material, round. We put it on the crown die, and we go from the center straight out like this. We turn it around and we do the same. We turn it around and we do the same. The beauty of it, that the distance between them, we match one to the other, here and here, and what we get here is a beautiful line going all the way and the contradictory line from both sides. Now, the other side, we do the same, but while forging, we move the metal once. Again, we move the metal like this. Again, we move the metal like this. In a sense, we get almost the same form, but it is more distinct. We are getting it more out, and it is not symmetric. We see that it's not in the middle, and we see the moving lines. And again, we get here a beautiful line that goes all around along this thing. This element is done from tubing, a pipe, 1 inch standard pipe. We can do it from 80, this is 40 schedule, we can do it from 80 schedule, then we have a thicker wall, and if we have a thicker wall, we have more material, we can get it more expressive. So what we do here, this is the element, what we do here. We put the pipe here and we forge it. We start in the middle and then we go to the side. And like with a dough, we go like this and we get this thing here. But until now it is still straight. The same we do here, and we do it in a way that one element again is coming and we get this line here. Then we put it on the crown die 30 degrees like this, and we move it along and we forge it, and by this we move the metal and get this curve. Turning around, do the same here. Once more, and we get this beautiful element that we can use in the gate, railing, sculpture, wherever. Same thing can be done with a rectangle RSH, which is 3/4 by 1.5 inch. Okay, this is what we get, and again we do the same. We forge it one side and the other side, and then we go like this once and once. We have to be careful not to go like this, because if we go like this, we'll destroy this part that we want to leave. So we go 30 degrees, around 30 degrees, and we move it, turn around, move, go like this, and we get this element. type of leaves. Those two are made from round material, 3/4. The length is not important, it was 8 inches, I think. This is done from flat material, 5/16 by 1 3/8, whatever, okay? Now, to make the leaf, first of all, we make a point in this side. Then we neck this side and let it go. By necking it and letting it go, we get here a tapered end. Then we forge it and turn it while forging and getting this texture here. Then we put it on the diamond, on the crown die, and we open it in the middle and move it to the sides and get the basic form of the leaf. And then we move it to 30 degrees and we hammer it in a way that we get the spine here in the center. One side and the other side. And then on this leaf we tap on the edges to get the marks that we get, and we finish it by forging the point like this, and here we have a finished leaf. This one is more aggressive. You see more the lines of the forging. And again, we start with forging a point, shouldering it, forging it, getting the texture, and then we open it here to create the form. And then we go here and we go very strong with the hammer to create the rough texture, and we finish it by forging the point and bending it like this. This one is done from the flat material. So again, on the flat, we forge the point, just one way, then we create the neck, finishing it, then we go the same here like we went before, going like this, and finishing and getting to it. Now we have these two elements. Both of them are done from 3/4 inch by 8 inch long. One is in one elevation and the other one is spiral. How it is done? First of all, again, when it is straight, we forge the point and we neck it down like this, that we let it go. While forging, we neck it like this, that here it is straight 90 degrees and here it is tapered. Then we put it on the crown die on this side of the slope. When it is 30 degrees off, and we forge it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, depend on the length. And because we pinch it this way, it is getting round like this. And then we go and forge the point, and on the anvil we hold it with the tongs and we knock like this, and then we get the beautiful shape of this. Now, the other part is basically start the same as the former one. But what we do here is when we pinch it, we pinch the first one and then we turn it 10 degrees and we pinch it again, and turn it 10 degrees and pinch it again, and turn it 10 degrees and pinch it again. And by this, we are getting it the spiral movement of it. And again, we finish by bending the point, and here you don't have to hammer it. You leave it as it is. If you want, you can go again and do like this. This element is again from 3/4 inch round. And again, we point it on the combination die, and then we shoulder it from the other side, let it go and create again a taper here. Then we put it here on the center and we open it all the way. And then we hold it 30 degrees on this side of the hammer, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, depend on the length. Turn it around and do the same, and finish it by bending it, and here we are. This element is done from flat material, 5/16 by 1 1/4, but it can be done from every flat material that you want to, depend on the size of the element you want. So first of all, we make a point, simple, and then we neck it here with the white side of the combination die. Then we are coming here, and in the middle we make the groove when it is straight. Then we turn it around and we go and we forge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When we forge this here, it moves the material and we get this radius. It gives it a dynamic shape, and then we forge down the point, and here we are, finished. This element is made out of flat material, 5/16 by 1 inch. Now, first of all, we forge the point. We forge here a long point, and then we forge it and we shoulder it here. But when we shoulder it here, we get it symmetric, like here. So we put it here on the anvil and we push it with the hammer and we move it off center to the end. And then we put it on the crown die. When it is straight, we make a channel all along, Then we turn it around and we forge it like this, slowly, 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 slowly on this side, and we get it like this. Then here on the anvil, we forge the point and we give it a knock, and here we are. It was in 1988 I started smithing. 1988 I fell in love with the iron, and within 1.5 years I came to the world level and I started to teach